Hi everyone, it's Gothicleeman here. As you probably can notice from behind me and all around me is I'm in a new scenery at the moment. So I have moved house and that is why my nails are really disgusting, because I've had to clean the old house, because that's the sad truth of renting, that you have to clean the old place once you move into a new place. I also got this really cool bat cookie cutter from thrift store or Goodwill or secondhand shopping as we call it in Australia, getting the tag off. It was $1, Australian dollar. So an awesome bat cookie cutter. So I quite liked that. But today I have been tagged by YouTube World. So now I've got to do a tag video under that law by the lovely Raven Dracul. She is a dear friend of mine. I love you, Raven. And she has asked me to do the death tag. So disclosure, I'm going to probably disappoint people, because obviously people have this expectation that goths have this very romanced idea of death. Yes, we do have a different view on death, but not everyone has the same view. I find it more romantic in the funeral rituals that people decide to do for their loved ones. I'm not uber romantic like Romeo and Juliet and do some act of love, of death. So the first question is, how would you want to die? To be honest, as a mum, you're probably hearing my children in the background and the music at the moment of the children's show. So from a mum's perspective, I don't want to be old and sick. I don't like the idea of my kids seeing me frail and old and just unwell. I want them to see me as the happy mother that I am. But I don't want to be too young when I die either. So I don't want to be sick and old. I'd rather, if I could pick to die in something uncontrollable, like a car accident or something that no one can blame themselves for. I don't want my friends and families to blame themselves because I am gone, because death is not really that bad at all. It's just a new journey to wherever that may be, but it's just a new experience, and I don't want my loved ones to blame themselves for the fact that I am gone. So something uncontrollable and that no one can blame themselves for it happening. So number 2 is, what would happen to your YouTube channel? Well, I would assume that if you haven't been on YouTube actively for over a certain amount of period of time, YouTube would just delete it. The admins, I'd assume that's what happens. So I don't know the experience, the expand of when YouTube decides to axe a channel. If not, I'd say it would just live on through the Uber web and be shared around, and people will be watching my videos for years to come. But I'll be gone, obviously. I'd hope the nicest thing is if my kids could add a video to my channel saying goodbye from me and explaining that I have passed away, so people sort of don't start messaging my channel going, when are you going to do a next video? And unfortunately I'm not there to do a video, so that would probably be the nicest things for my kids to do. But I can't promise that happening, because my kids might be like, get stuffed, we don't want nothing to do with that. That's mum's weird goth thing. So number 3 is, who will you leave your money to? Well, I'm hoping that by the time sort of gotten before death that I've saved money for my children, because obviously my kids will get my money. I'm actually buying a will kit soon to do all that sort of stuff, to think about that. But I'm hoping I've got money for my children. I really do. Number 4, what will happen to your body? Well, I'm happy with both ideas. I'm happy about being cremated, but as long as my ashes can be sprinkled in the woods. I'm a bush girl at heart. I like dark woods, dark bushes, spooky forests kind of feel. So I'd love my ashes to be scattered there, because I don't want my kids to be burdened with my urn. Like, I don't want them carrying around my urn. Like, that's just sort of sad and mopey for my children. So I don't want that. If I was to be buried, of course I'd love to be buried in a coffin, sort of here in Birmingham, or wherever they decide to bury me, with a nice coffin, and I guess something nice that they choose, something they would like to choose on it. But I don't want my children to feel like they have to stay in the area that my body is. I want my kids to be able to decide if they want to move, they want to travel, do whatever they like they can, without worrying about the fact that they're leaving my body behind. So I just don't want my remains to burden my loved ones. So realistically, my ashes being scattered in a dark, spooky woods would be my idealistic idea of, a good spot for me. Because one of my most favourite and treasured things is bushwalks, and it's my happy zone. And I love the smell of woods and forests early morning. It just got such a beautiful odour to it that I love. And I just feel my most at peace and calmness when I'm in the woods. So number 5, how do you want your funeral? Well, I don't want it to be long. Preferably not very long, because I don't want it to feel like you have to sit there dragging this thing out. That's what I don't want. If anything, I would really love my favourite music being played, maybe a video or something, of some videos of me, even it be with me and my kids, just pictures of me when I was little, even videos from YouTube that they've pinched. That would be really a nice gesture, but I don't want the whole drag it out with speeches and stuff like that, because sometimes it's hard for kids. It's just that process can just be a bit too formal for my liking. So I'd rather my family and friends to all do the funeral part quickly and either do a barbecue afterwards, preferably a barbecue with drinks, and just talking and socialisation and having giggles and celebrations about the person I was, stories, whatever they want, because I'm Australian and our culture is very laid back. So we have that very laid back attitude and look on life. So that's my idea of the perfect way to celebrate me, would be just to everyone to go and be in a relaxed environment, be it in the bush with a bonfire, or be it at one of my favourite drinking places, like just whatever I want people to grieve or remember me in their own way, in their own personal experience. And of course, YouTube is remembering me. But yeah, that's how I'd like my family and friends to remember me. Number 7, what will you miss the most that will exist after you die? Well, I'm hoping my children will exist after I die, because it would really suck as a parent to see my kids pass before myself. So I'm hoping they live on and they might have their own children, their own families maybe. That would be nice. if my partner, Andrew, is still alive, obviously I will miss him like crazy because he has shared this journey with me and my life and built this home that I love and accepted me. So I hope if he's alive. But the thing I probably will miss the most is life itself, because there's so much that we take for granted in life, and my idea is simply going for a bushwalk and listening to the sounds around you, the smells, the sights, taking in your surroundings, even if it be an early morning walk or a mid-afternoon walk where it's starting to get a bit more mistier, just things like that. The ocean views, just looking out on the water and experiencing and taking whatever you like from that experience, being it calming, being it de-stressing. Life itself is experience. Some we have bad, some we have good, but we all take on that journey in our own life and what life ever takes to us. But I think the experience itself that's all around you is what I will miss, that feeling. And this was my death tag video, and I've got to tag a few people. So I tag Nephilim Incorporatus because I love his anytime he makes a video or how he explains and expresses things, I quite enjoy. I also would like to tag Dumpster Dolly. I'd love to tag, the Gothic Alice. And what are you getting into? Kid getting into stuff in the background. But yeah, I might just tag a few people down in the descriptions. And thank you for watching my death tag video.